Hey, welcome to the third episode of Mice at Work podcast. Today, we will be joined by Sean.
Hi.
Travis.
Hello.
And Jared.
Hey.
Now, before we go on to the Disneyland news, which is hosted by Jared, I would like to take this opportunity to tell you guys some great news, well, sort of great news that happened this week. Haim Saban, who is a creator of Power Rangers for the U.S., has bought back the Power Rangers series from Disney. Power Rangers has generated $5 billion since 1993 when it first was introduced to the United States. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which was the first ever Power Rangers series, became a rating success after Haim Saban had launched a show back in 1993. It lasted many seasons, and it gained popularity and overnight success. That was until Disney bought the franchise in 2001 as part of his acquisition of the Fox family worldwide, and which was a company that Haim Saban owned it. Right now, the Saban Capital Group, which is billionaire Haim Saban's new company, has declined to say how much it paid for the series. It said that the licensed toys and other products and promotions that were included in the buyout is worth more than $5 billion worldwide. Now what's happening is that the Saban Capital Group is also looking into buying out all its other properties from Disney and other companies that he was forced to sell it to back in 2001. And now here is Jared with Disneyland news and updates.
Hello, and welcome to this week's segment for the Disneyland news and updates. This week we have some news on the Wonderful World of Color, which will be opening June 11th at the Disney's California Adventure Resort. The first bit of news is that there will be no previews for any annual pass holders or Club 33 members at all. The show is just going to open on June 11th, and there is no way to see the show beforehand unless you work at the Disneyland parks. Second bit of news is that there will be 3 showings of the Wonderful World of Color every night during summer, and that you will be able to get show tickets or fast passes for the first showing only of this attraction. And that is it for the Wonderful World of Color updates. The Rivers of America, which went through a 4-month refurbishment at Disneyland, have just opened, and now all the attractions are going on time. The newly renovated Rivers of America now feature 4 different rivers and a new theme for the Burning Cabin, which now is occupied by Mike Fint. And another bit of news is that DCA gets a new toy. DCA now gets, from Toy Story 3, lots of Huggin' Bear during the Pixar Play Parade. And he also will be around, just DCA, walking around to give hugs and get pictures taken. And also next to Toy Story Mania, they're adding a huge Toy Story 3 box that you can take a picture of where you look like you're a toy. And for the last bit of news, we have that the Disney Gallery will be closing in May to install a new Disneyland 55th Anniversary Gallery. And on to Travis with the WDW News.
Disney has announced a new resort that will be built around different themes of Disney animation. The new property will be named Disney's Art of Animation Resort, and we'll be discussing this announcement in detail later on in the program in our feature segment, so stay tuned. In theme park news, Muppet Vision 3D has reopened after its brief refurbishment. Reports indicate that, apart from basic theater maintenance and an update to the projection system, the attraction remains virtually the same, with no changes made to either the pre-show or main show. Also at the studios, Rock and Roller Coaster has closed for a short refurbishment and is expected to reopen on May 21st. And that's the news for Walt Disney World.
Welcome to our Disneyland History segment. Today we will be discussing the Rivers of America. The man-made Rivers of America opened with Disneyland on July 17, 1955. Though the river is technically in Frontierland, it is visible from and bordered by New Orleans Square and Critter Country. Some of Disneyland's most popular attractions, including Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Splash Mountain, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, ring the perimeter of the Rivers of America. The overall surface area of the Rivers of America covers about 325,000 square feet. These 8 acres represent roughly 13% of the total area of the original 60 park. 5 watercraft have sailed upon its waters, including the Mark Twain, the Columbia, the Mike Fink keelboats, the Indian war canoes, and the raft Tom Sawyer's Island. Boats that circumnavigate the island travel about half a mile through approximately 9 million gallons of water that's only about 5 feet deep. Despite being so shallow, the river has been the site of an accidental drowning, the tragic result of a guest entering the waters after dark. The rivers supposedly flow from the hill on Tom Sawyer Island where Tom and Huck's treehouse is built. Now, very recently, there have been major updates to the Rivers of America, as you probably well know. It's been called the Rivers of America since opening day, but only recently have the rivers actually been named. And they are the Mississippi, the Columbia, the Potomac, and the Rio Grande. New elements include a 2,500-foot track for the Mark Twain riverboat and the sailing ship Columbia for the first time since the park opened in 1955, a corral for 2 live ponies, 4,000 new shrubs and 130 new trees, 10 figures and repainted about 16 old ones, but the Mike Fink keelboat in front of the cabin, put a new paddle wheel on the Mark Twain, and replaced 9 of the 11 docks. New scenes include deer drinking from a creek, Indian braves on Tom Sawyer Island, raccoons spied by a skunk, mountain lions hiding in the grass, and an osprey on top of a winch beam close to the riverboat dock. Some old animals, including a group of moose, were repositioned in new scenes. Disney attraction creators, called Imagineers, consulted original sketches from Mark Davis and Sam McKim. Some scenes, including the raccoons, were from those old plans. The previously burning cabin got a new theme. Mike Fink, Davy Crockett's rival and later friend, is the new resident. His keelboat, the Gullywumper from the previous Disneyland ride, was placed in front of the cabin. Visitors will hear Crockett and Fink arguing from the boats. Along the 25,000 square feet of the river's edge, crews added new trees and rockwork to define the regions. In the Columbia area, for example, horticulturalists planted evergreens and fern to make the region appear similar to tree scenes in the twilight. Along the Rio Grande, red rocks and the shoreline bleed in with the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad nearby. The old version of Rivers of America was just sort of a mishmash, says Karen Hedges, Disneyland Resort's horticulture director. The empty river gave horticulturists a rare opportunity to do landscaping along the river from the ground floor and during the daytime, said Nicole Hill, a Disneyland Resort horticulture manager. So, very exciting stuff happening at the Rivers of America. What are you guys' thoughts?
I'm impressed with all that plant stuff. I mean, I've never been to that one, but I can kind of understand what they were talking about as far as like it kind of being not really defined by the plants that were along the river. So I tip my hat to them for thinking about the plants and trying to make it a bit more defined as far as the rivers go. It sounds really neat.
Yeah, I think that it's a definite improvement, and there's a lot of people that complain about some of the new animals not being the most realistic, which, I mean, I guess with Disney, they're really not. They're kind of like second rate, but at least they did something. I mean, they could have just drained rivers and then done nothing. So it's not the best update, but it's better than nothing. You know what I mean? It's like anytime they update anything, they don't have to do. They could basically leave it alone. No, but they want to add something special. So at least they try to do something different for the park.
The Rivers of America animals have never really been that impressive. Anyway.
Right, I mean, they've mostly been like static figures, a lot of them and stuff, but like Jared said, I mean, kudos for them actually doing something along there, not just leaving it to sit there and not do anything, so we kind of congratulate them on that.